Today on Beyond the Words, we're going to be talking about
7 tips for creating engaging conversations.
So let's get to it. Well, good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? It's so great to see you guys. Although I can't really see you. I'm Lon.
I'm Lisa.
And this is
the blue-faced Rufus.
The blue-faced Rufus. Yes, he licked some blue paint somewhere. Anyway, this is Beyond the Words. This is a show where we talk about faith, family, and relationships. We give you a little insight into our own story, and then give you some tips on things that you can do to strengthen yours. But before we get into our topic tonight, I just want to remind everybody that we would really, really love to connect with you. And if you haven't already, please go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. That'll help us out, and we would love to stay connected to you that way. You can also send us an email. Yes, you can do that by emailing us at lonandlisa@gobeyondthewords.com. That's lonandlisa@gobeyondthewords.com. We'd love to hear from you, stories that you might have, maybe some ideas that you would like for us to discuss. So definitely jump in, connect with us, and that would be great.
Yes.
Great.
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 So, on to bigger and better things. Now that we got all that housekeeping out of the way.
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, Lucas. Hi, Davina.
Hey, yeah, we see Davina's on, and Lucas is here as well, watching, so it's good to have you guys on.
And hi, Steve. I know he's watching too.
Steve is watching too. Anywhere Davina is, Steve is always watching.
Yes.
He's always watching with us. So.
And Davina, if Steve tells you to type anything, you type it for him.
Okay.
Because he says he can't control the keyboard.
And what does it mean? Does it mean that the TV is off?
Yes, it means he tells her to turn the TV off.
Okay.
So the TV better be off. We'll find out next week.
We'll find out next week. So, I'm sorry. Hey, so we are going to be potentially changing up things here pretty soon. I don't know. We're talking about it. We posted a little poll out there because we were thinking about moving our show from Sunday nights to either Monday nights or Thursday nights, I believe it was. And we're doing that for a reason, because there are some other ideas for some different kind of shows that we're kind of kicking around. So we're thinking if we move that to another night, then we can use this night for a different kind of show. So adding some shows, adding some things, that would be cool.
And that would just be the Rufus hour, where he just sits in front of the camera and stares at you guys for an hour. Davina would love that.
Oh, and hey, Heidi's watching. Hey, Heidi. And Scott's there. Speaking of the Rufus show, we've got a treat for you.
For his birthday.
For his birthday. So his birthday's coming up. When is his birthday?
It's the middle of next month. It's like the 15th. I have it on the calendar.
So it's like maybe a couple of weeks. Maybe a couple of weeks away. And so we've been
doing some video, yeah.
We've been kind of doing some video of the Rufus show, kind of like the Adventures of Lon and Lisa, except from Rufus's perspective.
Yes.
And I have to admit, was it last?
Oh my gosh.
Was it last week we were taking him for a walk and we had the video camera going? Sorry. And we had the video camera going.
Yes.
And something really, really funny happened.
Yes.
It's not out of the norm for him to jump and start barking at people walking in the other direction. But when we played the video back, I was shooting in high speed, so we slowed it down in slow motion, and it is the funniest thing. Yes. I'm telling you, I can't wait to show you guys. So make sure you're watching, especially when we do that little little segment, and we'll let you know when that's coming. Hey, Avonlee's watching too. Hey, Avonlee. So what do we got?
We have a game.
Wait, do we want to do our icebreaker first?
Yep, we'll do the icebreaker first.
Okay, we're going to do our icebreaker first. Now, some of you have already posted a few things.
Rufus is naked. Sorry, guys.
Rufus is naked. Okay, so some of you have posted a few things. The icebreaker tonight is this. If you had your own late night talk show, who would be your first guest? Who would be your first guest?
Chris Tomlin.
Chris Tomlin?
No.
Are you kidding?
I only say that to be mean to you.
Okay, so there's an inside joke to this, right? Because when we first started talking and going out and stuff, what was it? You said we were talking about Chris Tomlin because a lot of the songs that I sing are Chris Tomlin's songs that he sings.
Right.
And we were talking about how old Chris is.
So, yeah, and Ryan said, my son said, something about Chris Tomlin was too young for me. And I never said that I was, like, wanted to date him or anything, but I just said, I could date him, meaning that he wasn't that young.
Right, he was kind of our age.
Right, not that I wanted to date him, but just that he was the same age as me. And so Lon took that as I wanted to date Chris Tomlin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so now that's a thing, right?
Yes.
Chris Tomlin is a thing.
Right.
So, but for real, who would your guest be?
So, I think it was living or dead. I think okay, Rufus. I think the first one would be my father. I would love to have my father on as a guest. And yeah, there are lots of questions I would like to ask him.
So you have to kind of give just a little bit of context here with your dad, because he's not around.
Right. He passed away. And he was a CB, and he wasn't around a lot when I was growing up. Mm-hmm. And there were just so many things. I adored him, but I didn't get to spend a lot of time with him. So there are just so many things that I would like to talk to him about. He was born in the same hospital I was, in Katanning, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, yeah.
And his father was born in the same hospital, and I spent a lot of time with his mom, but not with him. So I would just, there are a lot of questions that I would like to ask him and just get to know him. Mm-hmm. So he'd be one?
Yeah. Your first guest.
He would be my first guest.
So who would be your second guest? Who would be your living guest?
My living guest.
All right. Well, you're thinking about.
I'll think about it.
You think about it, and I'll talk
else.
about mine, because mine. There are so many people that are just interesting to talk to. I think I would probably want to interview someone like Harrison Ford, because or Mark Hamill, one of those two guys from the Star Wars universe, because I'm I just love Star Wars, right? So I'm interested in that. Although I have to say that I'm pretty sure that the discussion would probably not be what I think it would, because they've done so many interviews about Star Wars and what happened and how they felt and everything. They probably would just walk off the stage if I brought up anything about Star Wars. So anyway, so that's who I would probably have as my first interview with. Dead, I would say probably Paul. Yeah, probably Paul. Just to ask him, more about his experience, and to be able to ask him what he meant when he said
Right.
certain things in the Bible. You know, like what do you mean by that? You know,
Right.
like I don't know, just to get him,
Yeah.
you know, yeah. So that would be my first interviewer.
What about George Lucas?
Well,
Straight to it.
see, I thought about George Lucas, and he would be another one of my top choices. But it would probably not be just from the standpoint of Star Wars, because he did so many other things.
Yeah.
Star Wars and Indiana Jones were his, like, you know, his baby. He did some other movies, American Graffiti and that sort of thing. But you know, he was instrumental in creating ILM and Skywalker Sound and just a whole host of other things. THX. So yeah, he would be another good interviewer. So let's check out some of our viewers, what they think. Scott says he would interview Chip Ingram. That's a great person to interview. Excuse me just a second, because I'm sorry. Guys,
You give me money?
well, here's the thing. Guys have this issue when you
Yes.
put your wallet in,
Yes.
and then your butt gets numb, and then your leg gets numb, and there goes Rufus. So while we're waiting for Lisa to get back, I think Rufus maybe has to go, go potty or something. Did I say potty? I think I did. That's kind of a dad term. Hey, gotta go potty? Anyway, Scott would interview Chip Ingram. That's great. Let's see who else. Garth Brooks. Garth Brooks is an excellent... You know, Lucas, that's a great... that would be a really good person to interview, because I think it's fascinating how Garth Brooks... He was on the scene and just incredible performer, entertainer, and then he did the baseball thing.
Yeah.
You know, Garth Brooks did the baseball thing, and then you didn't hear from him for a long time, and now he's kind of back on the scene. So that's pretty interesting. Let's see.
I think Davina answered early on.
Yeah, let's see. I know Davina's... I think this is it. Ooh.
You made it giant.
I made a giant. Davina says, living Max Lucado. Yeah. Holy cow, Max Lucado?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or what is it? My utmost for his... my utmost...
His highest.
For his highest, or
Yes.
I think that's the name of it. You know, Max Lucado's great author, biblical scholar. King David, yeah, he's another really good one as far as Bible characters. You know, people in biblical times, because he had such a profound, effect on Israel. So that would be great. Let's see, is there anybody else? Nope, I think that's it. Anyway, that's interesting. Now, did you decide on
I would say George Lucas.
George Lucas?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
David Crowder. That would be a fun interview. He's
Oh my gosh.
awesome.
He's a character.
Yes, he's fantastic. That
And
would
I
be
was-
a great interview.
Yes. Oh, okay. Lucas knows. Apparently, he knows the inside story. He quit to raise his kids. I did not know that, but that makes sense. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Talking about Garth Brooks, by the way. Yeah. So that does it for our icebreaker questions. And guys, there is a reason why we post these icebreaker questions. Number one, it breaks the ice. But the other thing is, icebreaker questions, those types of questions kind of open up a window into, kind of how a person thinks and some ideas about the person that you're talking to,
Right.
which kind of goes hand in hand with what we're going to be talking about
Yes.
tonight, right?
Right.
But one more thing we need to do before
Yes.
we get into our topic. We have a game, I think.
We
Do
have
you
a
have a game?
We have a dog-licked game.
A dog lick. Yeah. So that's where
That's why Rufus's mouth was blue.
he's like,
It's like, that looks delicious. Is that blueberry flavored? So,
do I
you
have
have,
mine?
you
yes,
have
I do.
yours, and I have mine.
I have
So-
mine. Here's mine.
I'm gonna
No!
ask- Can I ask you some questions?
Me?
Yes.
Okay.
You're supposed to say yes or no.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Fantastic. Okay. So I have a few questions, and you're going to answer yes or no.
Okay.
Oh, see, I'm doing it this way. You
Okay.
can do it your way.
I'm going to do it my
Okay.
way. She's going to do it her way.
Have you ever danced in front of a mirror? Have you danced in front of a mirror recently? No. I'm going to say no. You have to say yes. He has a very specific dance that he does, and it's funny.
The question is, no, I'm not going to. Have you danced in front of the mirror naked? Maybe. Did I just admit that?
That's hilarious. I wasn't even going to say that. Okay.
Okay.
Have you... I'm so glad we're not live. Have you...
Have you ever danced in front of the mirror naked? Let us know in the comments. We'd like to know.
Have you ever ditched school? I hope Beverly Linton's not... You haven't?
Nope.
Oh, you're so awesome.
Nope. I've never ditched. Me, and I'm assuming you mean mom and dad think that I'm at school, but I wasn't at school. No, I never did, because I was too scared that my mama would spank the. My butt would just be hurting.
So, yeah, I used to every day.
Thanks, Heidi. Yeah,
Every
My fa-
day.
my face is red,
Yeah.
and I don't know. It just
Yeah.
it's that
Yeah.
happens.
So, yeah, I used to ditch school every day and go to McDonald's for a long, long time. For
Especially
weeks and weeks and
happens.
weeks.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
It especially happens when I say embarrassing things.
Yes.
Okay, so wait. So you went to McDonald's?
No, I'm good.
No. Let's get it out here. So
Yeah, I used to go to McDonald's, and then after about
like the whole day?
no first period.
Oh, okay. First period.
Yeah.
Was it that much of a bore?
Yeah. And then eventually they were like, you need to start coming to first period. And I said, oh, okay. Then I started going, oh, yeah, I was a horrible
Put
kid.
the hammer down.
Yep.
Okay.
Have you ever made a snow angel?
Yeah.
And so I hadn't done this until I moved up here 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And we finally did it. And it wasn't as fun as I thought it was going to be.
No.
But I was super excited to do it. Do you remember? We went out in front of the condo, and I
Yeah,
fell into the
I
snow,
remember.
and I was like, this
Yeah.
isn't as fun as I thought it was.
I remember you doing it. Yep, we were living in the condo
Yeah,
across the way there,
Yep.
and and you went out there and did it. I remember.
yeah,
Yeah, I've done it maybe once or twice with the kids.
yeah.
It wasn't.
So you kind of fall into the snow, and it's hard, and then
Yes.
you're like, oh, and you, yeah.
Lucas, it looks like Lucas has ditched school before,
Yeah.
yeah. See, now the truth really
So-
comes out.
It doesn't surprise me, Lucas.
Yeah, yeah, and it looks. I think she's referring to the dancing in front of the naked thing. I don't know, but
Maybe not. You don't know.
maybe not. It could be. Look, and Davina says yes. Snow angels are
angel.
awesome.
Okay. Have you ever touched a snake?
Have I ever touched a snake?
I have touched a. Have you? You've touched a snake? When did
Mm-hmm.
you touch a snake?
I probably have. Well, I know I touched a snake when I was younger because we lived in the country in South Carolina, and I'm sure that I know that there were at least a couple of times when we actually killed snakes that were around.
Have you touched a living snake?
Well, at the zoo.
You touched a snake?
Mm-hmm.
You touched a snake?
At the zoo.
I touched a snake for Ryan.
For Ryan?
Yes.
And why?
We were at, we took his class on a field trip, and they had a snake, and they said, you have to touch this so the kids will know that it's okay. And you know how terrified I am of snakes.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not going to do this. And they said, you have to. And I was like, and I touched a snake, and it was horrible, and I did it.
My mom touched a snake.
Don't you bring that up again.
I'm not going to bring that up. I'll tell you another. It's in one of our other videos.
Yes.
The story of when
watch them all. Go watch them all.
The story of when I freaked my mom out.
Yes.
Yes.
You and Jay Rogers.
Me and Jay.
Not on purpose. Yeah.
Heidi's like, nope. Not on purpose.
But wait till your grandkids. Wait till you take your grandkids out, and they tell you have to touch a snake for your grandkids. You'll do it.
Davina said Tangi had a pet snake named Isis. Interesting.
Tangi would.
Yeah, I could see that, but I don't know. Is a pet snake? Is that anything like a real pet? I mean, I know it's a real pet, but
yeah.
But like, how do you? Because like a dog, you can interact, or a cat, you can interact, or whatever. But
people have pet snakes.
I guess,
it's scary.
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, check this out. Avonlea writes, snakes are fascinating. I've held many, never eaten one.
But Lucas has.
But Luke, it looks like, yeah.
Remember, Lucas said last week.
But love to try.
Wasn't it Lucas that said he ate a snake last week?
Was that a snake?
I think Lucas ate snake.
Maybe that was a snake. I don't remember now. I do remember. Kimberly says she doesn't do snakes, and I think that's what. Yeah, he's eaten. I think you mean. You've eaten snake.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. You were just talking about that.
I remember.
See, you remember because you've got a great brain, and my brain is just, not so great anymore.
Have you touched your tongue to a flagpole? I have not. Have you touched your tongue to a flagpole? Okay.
You mean while it's frozen, like freezing?
Have you ever touched your tongue to a flagpole when it's not frozen?
I've never touched my tongue to a flagpole because I think it's just nasty.
Yes.
I don't like the metallic taste of metal and the fact that people's hands are all over it. That's just
okay.
No.
Okay.
Oh, check this out. Talking about snakes. Rattlesnake chili?
I wouldn't eat it either.
I don't know. Maybe. And it looks like the one that Lucas ate was rattlesnake. Yeah. Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
You guys are brave. I don't know.
Have you ever broken a bone? Yes.
Yes. Okay, how'd you break your and what bone did you break?
A dog bit me in the face and broke my nose. Mm-hmm. I broke my wrist. And
I broke my wrist. Well, I take that back. I don't know. Does a fracture count?
A fracture is a break. Yes.
Yes. So it wasn't a clean break,
right,
but it was a fracture. Yeah. I wrecked on a mini bike when I was young, and
yes. Yes.
Yep.
Have you ever been easily amused by something? Yes. Yes.
Do you remember what?
We have both been easily amused by the same word, and we will not say that word out loud.
What word is that?
I will say the word later.
Are you going to say
it's in a song.
Are you
Do you know the word?
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious? No?
No.
Okay.
It's another word.
Another word?
Yes. That we laughed about all night long. You don't remember the word?
I remember laughing all night long.
You don't remember the word? Have you ever forgotten someone's name?
Oh, yes.
So we have a running joke about this. He'll look at me and I'll say, Lisa, because he basically forgets everyone's name.
Scott says he's by life in general. And that's true. Like sometimes we're out and about just hanging out and just watching what people do and stuff.
Right.
And just like,
Right.
I don't know, get easy, Millie. And Heidi says, "Oh,
life's too short not to be amused."
And
Absolutely.
That's true. Might as well laugh because
Right.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and this is our last one.
Okay, last
one.
one.
Have you ever run away from home? Yes. I ran away when I was 7 years old. I ran away. I got all the way to the end of the block, and then I came home.
No, I never tried to run away. I tried to.
You did that today. I was picking on him today at lunch. He turned around and looked at me. I said, Lisa, I have a name tag in my purse if you want me to put it on.
I think it's with age. I don't know. Or maybe it's just there's so many things that, kind of going on that you forget. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Well, great.
But it's true. Great. Good game. Good game.
Good game. I love these questions.
Yes. But he doesn't actually forget my name. He just looks at me, and when he pauses, I always say Lisa.
Yeah.
Lisa. Lisa. Nice to meet you. Lisa.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Do you want me to tell you the word?
Yes.
Gunny sat.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I don't know why it was so funny. It's in a song, and for some reason it just hit us both at the same time.
It's a gunny sack, right? But
a gunny
something
sack.
about the word hits us funny. Scott says that he tried to run away, I guess at 6.
Yeah. I wasn't even gone for half an hour. Mine was more like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we're going to jump into our topic yet, and it's really cool that you had those questions, right?
Because it
all ties together. Everything works together, because of what we're talking about.
Yes.
What are we talking about? We are talking about 7 tips that we think are great for creating engaging conversations. Yes. And like the icebreaker or the questions that you presented here, right. They can all be catalysts for getting great conversation,
right.
Going to get it going. And even though it's small talk,
right.
It can start out as small talk. It can grow into something even deeper.
Into big talk.
It could, into big talk. Absolutely. So,
just like 5 tips can turn into 7 tips.
5 tips can turn into 7 tips. It started out with 5 tips and now it's 7 tips. There's probably way under more that are out there, but
under more? Over more.
Yonder. Okay, tip number 1. Give them, the person you're speaking to, that is, your full attention. This is an important thing. If you want engaging conversations, you want to give them your full attention.
Right.
We did a little bit of this at lunchtime.
Yes.
We did a little role playing, right?
Okay.
And so we're gonna try to act out some of this, right?
So I wanted to tell you what happened to me today at work. So anyway, are you listening to me? So anyway, this is what happened. So honey, are you listening?
Hold on a second. The game's on.
So anyway, well, I wanted to.
Yes.
I wanted to tell you what happened at work.
Oh,
Are you listening?
Were you talking?
So yeah, this is. And then when he wakes up, when he regains consciousness, we can continue the conversation.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. This is a really, really big one. If you want to have engaging conversations, look the person in the eye.
Right.
And if you've got a phone, just put it in your pocket, put it out, put it down. Mm-hmm. If you're at dinner, especially if you're taking your spouse or your girlfriend or your boyfriend out on a date, you can leave the phone in the car.
Right.
And that gives you some great time to connect and to engage in conversation, right?
Right.
Look each other in the eye. That's a good thing to do, right? So always give them your full attention.
Right.
Number 2, ask lots of questions.
Right.
So just like the questions we talked about. So let me see. Can I see the list of questions again? So just to give you an example, one of the questions was, have you ever ditched school? Okay. So let's use that as an example, and we're going to role play again. So, have you ever ditched school?
Maybe.
Tell me what happened.
So, I used to not go to first period, and I would go to McDonald's with my friends.
Oh, man. First period, that's probably a pretty boring class. Was it a boring class?
I was a teacher's assistant, so I didn't feel that it was necessary to go.
How can you be a teacher's assistant without being in class?
It was very easy because he was okay with it, so I didn't go. But then I found out that I needed to go. Right.
I see. So you see how the one question ended up being a little bit longer. The conversation ended up being a little bit longer by asking more questions. So the one question can lead to another question, and if you have that questioning kind of thing, what are you laughing at?
I'm a horrible person. I thought you would have also ditched school at least once or twice because you were in the.
I was too scared.
You were in a band, yeah, but Beverly Linton is.
That's hardcore. What I'm saying. She's hardcore. She'll get me.
Yeah, she had a belt,
which we tried to take away one time. Ask lots of questions. Be interested.
Right.
When you couple asking lots of questions with giving the person your full attention, it ends up being quite engaging. Right?
And you find out something.
And you find out things that you never knew before.
Do you still love me?
I do.
Okay.
It's okay. I forgive you.
Thank you.
Number 3, refrain from only yes or no questions. So going back to the question, or number 2, it kind of goes along hand in hand. If you're only asking yes or no questions, then you're not going to get very far.
Right.
Now, sometimes you can be in a situation where you ask a question, and the answer you get is only a yes or no answer.
Right.
And so maybe you want to find out or engage a little bit more. So let's role play again, and I'm going to ask you the same question, and you're going to answer with a yes or no, and then we'll see how that works.
Okay.
Wow. Have you ever ditched school?
Yes.
So tell me about it. What happened?
I ditched school.
What was the circumstance? Was it a boring class?
Yes.
And did you have... So this isn't working, is it? So see how that kind of yes or no answers shut down the conversation. So if you're being asked a question, and rather than just saying yes or no, expound a little bit on it. You know, you can just expand a little bit on the answer, and it turns into a little bit more interesting, engaging.
Right.
Yep. So.
And when you do get that yes or no, you can just pull it out a little bit. Can you tell me more about it? Why? Why? I used to have to do that to Ryan a lot. My son would, never want to talk about his day. And you see, he calls now and tells me about his day.
Oh, yeah, he does.
When he was younger, he did not want to tell me. It was like interrogating him. He would come home and I would say, and I could never ask Madison first, tell me about your day. Oh, my goodness, because she's like her mother.
Yes, she is. She is very much.
She would want to tell me every detail of everything. And so I would have to start with Ryan, tell me, and so I would do the tell me 2 good, 1 bad. And start with the bad, and so you couldn't just ask, a yes, no, because that's all you would get.
Yeah. Also, in your line of questioning, why is always a more engaging question rather than like, have you ever, because that could end up being a yes or no question. Right. But there are a lot of other things that you can do like that to engage in conversation. Right. And sometimes you find that the person you're talking to, if they're a little shy or maybe they just aren't quite comfortable with you yet, when you engage them in that way, it can sometimes loosen everything up so that it make everything feels a little bit more relaxed. You can also try, if you're having a hard time getting the other person to engage, in interjecting some of your own experience. Although I would say limit your own, injecting your own experiences, because you don't want to make the conversation too much about yourself. Right. You're trying to get to know the other person, right? So that's always an important thing to kind of keep in the back of your mind as well. Any other things?
No,
about number 3?
You're good.
Okay. Number 4. Be positive, even if the conversation seems negative.
So.
Go ahead. I'll let you.
With this, there have been a lot of times that I'll come home and it's been a really, really, really bad day, and I'll use the phrase, "No one died," because it was a bad day.
Well, that's the silver lining, right?
Yeah, and it'll kind of be a joke, and you have to kind of be positive about, it was a bad day, and but no one died, so you have to just get back in there and kind of joke about, I got yelled at and this, but nobody died, so kind of just suck it up and laugh about how horrible it is sometimes. Sometimes
it is about just being positive about things and seeing the silver lining.
Right.
Be a glass half full,
right,
rather than half empty,
right,
kind of conversation. Always find the silver lining, and don't be afraid to laugh about such things.
Right.
I mean, even if you are the one that made the mistake, like maybe you made a mistake or something, and it was
not me, because
I know you're perfect. You're perfect, but someone like me who might make a mistake, and I do this quite often. I laugh at myself a lot for doing dumb things and just being a big dumb dummy. Right? That's what you always call me, a big dumb dummy.
I don't always, just sometimes.
Just sometimes. That's right. Sometimes she calls me but sometimes I am a big dumb dummy.
Sometimes.
So number 4, be positive.
Yes.
Ready? Number 5?
Number 5.
Number 5. include other people when you're in a crowd. Right. So this is more of a, you're in a group, and you're having some group conversation.
Right.
You don't want to dominate, or what's the word? Not dominate, but hoard the conversation.
Right.
Make it all about you.
Right. You want to include.
You want to include everybody. Also, yeah, when you're in a group of people, there might be some in the group that are very, very extroverted.
Right.
And so they have no problem whatsoever throwing stuff out there and talking about stuff or whatever. But you might have some other individuals in the group that are a little bit more introverted, a little bit more reserved.
Right.
And it's always a great thing when you can look around the group and you notice which ones are maybe not quite as energetic to jump in and throw some things out there.
Right.
So you can always, ask one of them a question. Hey, how was your experience with the football game the other night? Also,
but be conscious of body language and things like that. You don't want to, if someone is super introverted, you don't want to be and
and make them the total center of attention. That wouldn't be
because
good.
If someone is an introvert, they're gonna probably be super self-conscious.
True.
True. Bring them in a little bit and make them feel comfortable and welcome, but don't throw the whole conversation at them. And
I know it's hard to believe, but I'm a little bit introverted.
You are.
I'm good when I'm there for a purpose.
Right. You're good on stage by yourself, which is crazy. Which is it is. It's crazy. You're
not
good
by myself,
on stage, but not in a crowd. You're less comfortable.
I always when I'm in a group of people. Of course, I know that when you're in a group of people, a lot of times the conversation needs to stay in that small talk kind of atmosphere.
Right.
And I'm more of a little bit more deeper kind of connection kind of person.
Right.
So I'd rather it just be, me talking with somebody one-on-one rather than being in a group of people. That's just me, because I feel like, I get more connection with people that way. And that's true. But you also do need the small talk and be able to talk in general with a group of people too. So it's a skill, right?
It's a gift.
It's a gift. Okay, number 6. Don't be afraid to be a little vulnerable. So notice that when we were talking about ditching school, we were talking about ditching school.
Yes.
There was a part of you that was kind of revealing. You revealed
to the whole world.
To the whole world.
The whole world
that
just
you
heard that.
You ditched school, and that could paint you in a bad light.
Yes, I know. I didn't think about it. I wrote it down there, and now I'm like, oh no, people are gonna know.
But the thing is that people are just people. I mean, we all have stuff that we do, but to be vulnerable means that you're actually allowing someone to see beyond the surface level.
Right.
And when you're able to do that, when you're able to go, hey, I feel this way, or I did this and I felt this way. You're allowing someone else to kind of get an inside scoop on who you are.
Right.
And that's how you...
I'm a big old ditcher.
And that's how you grow deep, meaningful relationships.
I'm a hoodlum.
You're not a hoodlum. You just did school when you were a kid, right? But I didn't. I didn't do school.
You're the best.
I was too afraid of what might happen.
I was afraid of my mom.
Well, that's number 6. So the last one on our list tonight, number 7, is be respectful of others' opinions, even when you don't disagree.
Even when you disagree.
Even when you disagree.
Right.
Even when you don't disagree, well, there's no issue, right? See, a big dumb dummy. Even when you disagree,
Right.
be respectful of the other person's opinions.
Right.
It doesn't mean you have to agree with them. It doesn't mean that you're on the same side of whatever you're talking about. But they have an opinion,
Right.
and it's okay to have a conversation about the opinion, even when you disagree. Right?
Exactly.
And you can be respectful of the other person.
Right.
And when you respect them, they can respect you. And when there's a mutual respect, then you can have engaging conversations. There's a guy that I work with, and we don't see eye to eye on a lot of different things, and specifically a lot of political things. Ooh. And so you know how politics can really, really get heated if you're not careful. But what I find interesting is that the two of us are able to and he does this a lot. He asks a lot of questions. Hey, what do you think about this? And then I'll ask him, what do you think about this? And so there's an engaging conversation between us, and that's a good thing.
That is,
because if you're constantly shutting down the other person, well, then there can't be any conversation. You just you shut them down.
Mutual respect.
Right.
Exactly.
So that concludes our
7 tips.
Our 7 tips for creating engaging conversation. Let us know what some of your tips are. We'd love to hear from you. You can post them in the comments section, and we'd love to see those. What are some of the things that you guys like to do in order to create more engaging conversations? That's just kind of 7 things that we implement and do in order to...
We do that.
We do. You said do. Babe, don't say do. Yes.
We do that.
Yes, we do. Absolutely. So that does it for our show tonight. Thanks again for everybody watching. And do us a favor, click the like button and share this video with all your friends. Share our YouTube channel. If you haven't already, go there and subscribe. We'd love to get some more viewers. We love the interaction.
Yes.
We love it. Love.
Love.
We love it when you guys interact with us while we're doing our show, because that just makes it more engaging. We're just talking about engaging conversation. Engaging
conversation.
And I think that's a great thing. And it makes it more interesting and fun. So, on that note...
Ooh, are you going to play a note?
Wait. This one's for Lucas. Wait. Let me see. I can't do it while I'm... Never mind. Forget it. I forgot the chords. I play it all the time, though. It's a Garth Brooks tune.
Okay.
But anyway. I digress. May tomorrow be a perfect day. Someday you're going to sing with me.
Someday.
May you find love and laughter along the way. May God keep you in His tender care till He brings us together again. Good night, everybody.